Good afternoon, White Horse students. I'm Mrs. Elamine, or Miss Watson to some of you, the assistant principal. And today I am going to read a chapter of Harbor Me by Jacqueline Woodson. Before I get started, I wanted to let you guys know where I am stationed in the building currently. Right now, I am sitting in the 7th grade hall. That back there leads straight to our UA hallway, but I wanted to kind of give you guys a glimpse of what's to come here in the building. As you can see behind me, there are arrows on the floor, directional arrows that kind of tell you which way to walk in the hallway. The lines across the middle remind us to keep 6 feet social distancing in between us as we're walking down the hallway. So I just want to give you guys a glimpse. And if you're really curious, here's the front of the building. In the last video, you guys met Miss Amy Reederath, our principal, and she introduced you to Miss Stiles and Miss Piper in the main office. I am also stationed in the main office, so that's where you can find my office as well. And I'm here to help you with whatever you may need. All right, without further ado, I am going to be reading chapter 14. All right. I picked chapter 14 because I feel like it really touches on an important concept. One of the concepts is around aging and growing up. So let's dig a little bit into chapter 14, listen to me read, and then I have a really important question I'd like to ask you guys at the end. Chapter 14. For the 2 weeks after Halloween, we snuck our candy into the ARTT room, trading and sharing it until our stomachs twisted up from too much chocolate and our tongues burned from Sour Patch Kids and Jolly Ranchers. The half moons beneath Esteban's eyes grew darker, and some days his uniform looked like he slept in it. He had left the circle completely, sitting on the windowsill and staring out into the schoolyard. One Friday, just as we entered the ARTT room, without saying a word, Ashton and Amari started moving our desks. They arranged them around Esteban at the window. None of us said anything, but Esteban looked up, then he smiled. We took our seats in the new circle like it was just a regular Friday. But the circle was a little smaller now, and our chairs closer together. We were closer together. Amari pulled out his sketchbook and started drawing. Then just as quickly, he snapped it shut. Hey, Red, can I talk to you into your recorder? I got something I want to say. Sure. I nearly spilled out my whole knapsack, rushing to get the recorder for Amari. When I handed it to him, he turned it around and around in his hand. It's the button on the top that starts recording me, right? I nodded. My name's Amari, he rapped. Rhymes with Atari. I'm old school like that. I'm so smooth like that. Oh man, Holly said, you are not going to spit weak raps into history, are you? Amari looked like he was ready to say something back to her. Then he sat up, his lips pressing together. Wait a minute, he said slowly. 20 years. We all meet back in this room, and you can play this for us. My voice is already changing, so let me catch it like it is, he smiled. Your voice is so not changing, Holly said. Keep dreaming. Amari rolled his eyes at her. Jealous? That's all you are. Nope. Believe it or not, I don't want my voice to change. Sweet and fine the way it is. Say hi, everybody. That's Miss Susie. She helps us out in the cafeteria. I know some of you guys recognize their face. All right, let's continue reading. The other guy smiled, but Amari just looked at Holly. She stared right back. Why don't you two get married and get it over with? Ashton said. Both Amari and Holly made gagging sounds, but my stomach double flipped and landed hard. No, they hated each other. No, Ashton was wrong. But then I saw the edges of Holly's lips turn up. Whatever, Amari said, turning back to me. If it was cool with Esteban, I'm good. Just don't play it for nobody but us. 20 years from now, we all meet right back here in this room, the 6 of us. That would be cool, Tiago said. Yeah, Esteban agreed. That would be nice. We'd be old though. Red's gonna be the first one I recognize, Amari said. I smiled. 20 years seemed like 100 years. I couldn't even imagine a room with 6 of us in it. One day, we wouldn't be in Miss Laverne's class, but Amari would recognize me. Esteban had stopped smiling. So had the others. It's strange to imagine us not together anymore, Ashton said. I know it hasn't been that long, but yeah, but still, Amari said. So let's make it a promise. Holly slapped both hands down on the arm of the desk. 20 years from now, no matter where we're living, no matter what, we'll meet back here in the art room. Kick any little kids in here out, Ashton said, because we were here first. Amari held up the recorder, and Red will bring this, and we'll all listen to ourselves. I nodded. The green light on the recorder was still on. It's recording us, I said. That's cool, Amari said. You think you can hold on to this thing for 20 years? Yeah, I said. It sounds corny, Ashton said, but it sounds really cool too. Because mostly when you move away from someplace, you don't see the people again, and you don't even remember what they sound like. He got quiet, looked down into his lap and sighed. It was such a deep and heartbreaking sound. A sound I knew wouldn't sound any less sad over the years. A sound I'd hear again and again and remember Ashton, his head down, his hair falling over his forehead, his cheeks puffing out, his lips parting to exhale air. It's really, really hard growing older and growing apart, but it's a part of life. It's something that we all must do. But that doesn't mean that you'll be forgotten. That doesn't mean that you'll forget others. It just means that you're going on to a different phase in your life. So my question for you, White Horse Middle Schoolers, is, how do you feel about growing up and never being a child again? Or to take it a step farther, is there someone that you've said goodbye to that you really wish that you could say hello to again? Next week, you guys will be reading chapters 17, 18, 19, and 20. That means you should read pages 75 to 91. I can't wait to see some of you back in the building, and I look forward to the rest of the school year.